It's Excalidraw Day. Okay, so probably all of you at this point have used some sort of virtual whiteboarding software. I feel like these got a lot more popular during COVID when everyone went remote, but Excalidraw is one that is open source. And as it notes here, all of your data is saved locally in your browser. And of course, you can host it yourself if you use their open source code. So I will, of course, link to their GitHub, but I haven't dug in really to their docs at all, but I loaded it into Gjalla just to see kind of what we can learn and how familiar we can get here. So here we are. Okay, Excalidraw offers users a frictionless way to create and share ideas visually. It's a quick tool for sketching. Okay, that's cool. So looks like it's deployed on Vercel, mostly TypeScript, Rough.js, which I haven't used, but I wonder if that's like you can kind of see that this is handwriting looking. Like I wonder if it's related to that graphics library that enables drawing with a sketchy hand-drawn look. So that's pretty cool. Okay, Jotai. I don't know that one either. An atomistic state management library for React. Oh, interesting. Okay, so if you've built with I don't know, any front end, but a lot of React devs use something like Zustand or other state management, but I haven't heard of this one, so that's cool. React, Docker, Dockosaurus. Okay, Firebase, that's cool. And then Sentry for observability. There's not, like, I have not been tracking the changes over time here, so this doesn't have any information in it yet. Let's come over here. Okay, I am going to close this just so it's a little bit bigger for us. So what do we have? Excalidraw single page application. Okay, collaboration backend. So a set of cloud services that facilitate real-time collab, manages WebSocket connections. Okay, cool. A static doc site, that's fine. Users, developers, and an AI service. Okay, cool. Let's zoom all the way in here. Actually, let me go here. Okay, just so that we can see the containers for a second. So inside the single page application, we have data persistence and sync, core logic and state, UI, canvas rendering, and foundation. I don't know if anyone has built with canvases, but anyone who maintains a canvas library, I just like salute you. They're so helpful, and a lot of that logic can be really tedious to do. Okay, collab backend has the Firestore. Okay, so here is some like Firebase usage, I guess, and a WebSocket server. That makes sense. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in. We can see a little bit more. So canvas rendering, we have in-memory scene. Okay, so that's what it was saying about everything is stored in the browser. Shape cache renderer. The foundation layer has math. Oh, mermaid to Excalidraw. Interesting. So mermaid is a diagrams as code provider, I guess. So I wonder if since mermaid is kind of standardized and well known, they are doing some sort of adapter, parse mermaid syntax and convert it to Excalidraw elements for rendering on the canvas. That's cool. I mean, I can see how that would make it easier for developers. Okay, upstate model, element manipulation, history manager. That's cool. Definitely need that undo redo for whiteboards. Okay. Okay. Action manager. Oh, here's the state management. That's cool. It allows components to subscribe to fine-grained pieces of state optimizing re-renders. Oh, that makes sense. You definitely want something that's a little bit more optimized, especially for real-time collaboration type use cases where there's probably just a lot of traffic going back and forth. So, okay, that makes sense. Let's come over here. And hopefully this loads. If it doesn't load, that's okay. We can kind of come back to this later. Okay, I'm gonna go to maybe we can take a look at the data flows. So Real-time collaboration. Yeah, I do want to know about the element updates actually. So the renderer and the scene, that makes sense. Collab client, okay. Goes through the WebSocket, that makes sense. Element manipulation. Okay, so I guess all of this stuff is like happening in the user's browser, and then there's like the WebSocket client and the WebSocket server that's just like doing the updates, which also makes sense. User journeys. What is this one? Real time, save scene, load scene. Okay, so this is how it loads from the browser. That one's probably a little bit simple. Let's do this one. So in your browser, element manipulation engine first goes to the history manager, okay, and then the collab client, then the WebSocket server, which we saw, and then the collaboration backend. The backend broadcast to all other clients in the room. Okay, so that's how everybody gets their update. That makes sense. And then remote clients collaboration receives the update, applies the data to the local scene. Nice. I think that makes sense once you walk through, right? Like first it goes into the history. Let's make sure that we have that. Then we can send it up to the collaboration engine sort of, and all of the other clients can have access to it. Okay, cool. So that's an overview of the architecture, which I'm not going to click through right now because we just kind of looked through it. So monolithic front end, okay. Offline first, yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Privacy by design, that's another one that I like. Yeah, it's saying this is a differentiator from other online tools, which also kind of makes sense with the offline first if all of your data is stored in your own browser. And then if we come into the capabilities, we'll see if there's anything interesting here. Oh, so you can create free draw elements in addition to just kind of drag and drop elements. So if you think of other, maybe you've used something like Lucidchart or whatever that has the shapes kind of pre-drawn. So it looks like Excalidraw can do custom ones too, which is kind of cool. And then you can export. That's cool. Grouping and ungrouping, also cool and important. And then maybe let's see if there are any interesting terms here. Tunnel, a React context-based pattern. Rendering a component's children in a different part of a React tree. This is, okay, so this is just like infrastructure, I guess, for the main rendering. These are different acronyms, naming conventions. Fractional index, a string-based sorting key used to determine the z-index of elements. It allows for inserting an element between two existing elements without having to index the entire set. Okay, that's kind of cool. That also tells me that they support a lot of like big and complex diagrams and probably lots of collaboration use cases too. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and then the directory tree. I'm just gonna skip some of the doc stuff. Examples, that's awesome. Next.js, I know a lot of folks are building with Next.js these days, so that's cool. The main app, logic for handling. Oh, okay, cool. Collaboration components, components related to sharing and exporting, that's pretty cool. Firebase, that's nice. And then you have that if you forked their open source and have your own Firebase, then you can come in here and kind of make any adjustments that you'd want. Cool. Well, like I said, I wasn't too familiar with Excalidraw before this, but I will keep pulling their upstream updates into this fork. I'll post the link so that if you're not familiar with Excalidraw but would like to poke around in these docs and see what you can learn, it's available to you. And if there are any other open source projects that you want me to load into here and walk through, feel free to let me know.